Welcome to this enlightening journey, dear friends. You are here for a reason, because you are chosen, guided by a force greater than yourself. Together, we will uncover the profound spiritual significance hidden within your hands. These signs are not mere coincidences, they are divine imprints, marking you as someone with a sacred mission. As we delve into this mystery, I encourage you to like this video, subscribe to Bible Peak, and comment, "I trust in God's guidance," to affirm your faith and embrace His plan for you. Have you ever looked at your hands and wondered about the stories they might tell? Since ancient times, hands have been seen as a reflection of one's purpose, carrying marks that connect us to our destiny. Each line, curve, and pattern etched on your palms holds a unique spiritual meaning. These signs serve as a silent code, reminding you of your calling and guiding you toward your divine purpose. The first sign we'll explore is the mysterious M that appears on some palms. If you notice this letter formed by intersecting lines, it signifies a profound connection to spiritual wisdom. Those with the M are often deeply intuitive, able to perceive truths that remain hidden to others. This mark serves as a reminder that you are chosen to carry a mission that transcends the ordinary. It's a call to trust your instincts, listen to the whispers of the divine, and walk confidently in your faith. Another powerful sign is the infinity symbol, or a small circle. This mark represents an eternal connection to higher realms, a bond that cannot be broken. It's a sign of resilience and a reminder that your soul is part of an infinite story. If you carry this mark, you are called to embrace your eternal nature and recognize that your journey is guided by divine protection. The separate lines on your hand tell a different story. These fragmented paths signify challenges faced and overcome. They are marks of a spiritual warrior, someone who has walked through trials and emerged stronger. Each break in the lines reminds us that life's difficulties are not barriers but stepping stones leading to deeper spiritual truths. Now, let's talk about deep and joined lines. These signify clarity, purpose, and leadership. Those with such marks are natural guides, entrusted with the responsibility to inspire and uplift others. Your hands, marked with deep and connected lines, reveal a destiny intertwined with the greater good, a call to lead with wisdom and unwavering faith. Lastly, we come to the cross, or X, formed by intersecting lines. This is a symbol of divine protection, a seal that marks you as someone guarded by celestial forces. If you possess this sign, it's a powerful reminder that you are never alone. God's angels watch over you, guiding your steps and shielding you from harm. Take a moment now to observe your hands. Do you see any of these marks? Each one is a testament to the unique purpose God has for you. These signs are not just physical, they are spiritual reminders to walk in faith, embrace your mission, and trust in the divine plan. The second part of our journey delves deeper into the spiritual connection between the marks on your hands and the unique mission God has placed upon your life. These signs are not random, they are divine messages encoded into your being, pointing to the path you are meant to walk. Understanding them requires reflection, faith, and an open heart to receive what God is revealing to you. Your hands are not only tools for physical work but also symbols of creation and transformation. They hold the power to build, to heal, and to serve. When we think about Jesus, we remember His hands, hands that blessed, healed, and ultimately bore the scars of sacrifice for humanity's redemption. In the same way, your hands are instruments through which God can work wonders in the lives of others. One significant mark to consider is the straight, unbroken line that runs across the palm. This is often called the destiny line, and it reflects a life of focus and purpose. Those with this mark are called to remain steadfast, even in the face of adversity. It's a reminder that God has a clear and unwavering plan for your life, and staying committed to His guidance will lead you to fulfill your destiny. Another remarkable feature is the presence of parallel lines near the base of your fingers. These are often interpreted as gift lines, representing talents and abilities bestowed upon you by God. These lines signify that you have been equipped with unique gifts, not for personal gain, but to serve and glorify Him. Whether it's the gift of teaching, healing, or leading, these marks are a call to action, urging you to use your talents for a greater purpose. Let's not overlook the significance of faint or barely visible lines. These lines speak to hidden potential, talents, or callings that may not yet have been realized. They are reminders that God is not finished with you. He is still shaping and refining you for the work He has planned. Just as clay in the hands of the potter, your life is being molded into a masterpiece that reflects His glory. There is also the rare and powerful symbol of the triangle, formed by intersecting lines. This shape represents divine alignment and the unity of mind, body, and spirit. It's a sign of balance and harmony, calling you to center your life on God's principles. If you bear this mark, it's a reminder to live with integrity, aligning your actions and thoughts with God's truth. The story of Moses comes to mind when considering the significance of hands in fulfilling God's purpose. In Exodus 4, when Moses doubted his ability to lead the Israelites, God instructed him to use his staff, which symbolized the power in his hands. Through Moses' obedience, his hands performed miracles, from parting the Red Sea to striking a rock to provide water. This demonstrates that when we surrender our hands to God's will, they become vessels for His power and glory. Your hands also carry the imprints of your life's journey, the triumphs, struggles, and lessons learned. Each line and mark is a chapter in the story God is writing through you. It's a reminder that every experience, whether joyful or painful, has a purpose in shaping you into the person He created you to be. Reflecting on these truths, it's clear that the marks on your hands are more than physical characteristics. They are spiritual reminders, urging you to remain faithful to your calling and trust in God's divine plan. As we continue, we'll explore how these signs connect with your spiritual authority and the ways God has equipped you to overcome challenges and walk boldly in your purpose. As we continue this journey, let us explore the connection between the marks on your hands and the spiritual authority God has given you. Your hands are not just tools for earthly tasks but also vessels through which divine power flows. They are a tangible reminder of the authority and responsibility bestowed upon you as one of God's chosen. One significant aspect of spiritual authority is the ability to lay hands on others in prayer and healing. Throughout Scripture, we see the hands used as instruments of blessing and restoration. In Mark 16 verses 17 to 18, Jesus declares, "And these signs will accompany those who believe. In my name, they will drive out demons, they will speak in new tongues, they will place their hands on sick people, and they will get well." This passage reminds us that your hands, when surrendered to God, carry the power to bring His healing and deliverance to those in need. Consider the story of Peter and John in Acts 3, where they encountered a man lame from birth. When asked for alms, Peter responded, "Silver or gold I do not have, but what I do have I give you. In the name of Jesus Christ of Nazareth, walk." Taking the man by the hand, Peter helped him up, and immediately, his feet and ankles were strengthened. This miraculous act demonstrates the authority and power that flows through the hands of those aligned with God's will. The marks on your hands may also represent the trials and victories you've experienced in your spiritual journey. Scars, whether physical or emotional, are not signs of weakness but of resilience and grace. They testify to the battles you've fought and the faithfulness of God in bringing you through. Each scar is a reminder that you are an overcomer, equipped to stand firm against the forces that seek to hinder your purpose. One of the most profound symbols related to hands is the imprint of work and service. The calloused hands of a laborer reflect dedication and effort, just as the marks on your spiritual hands signify your commitment to serving God and others. In Galatians 6 verse 9, we are encouraged, "Let us not become weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up." Your hands are a testament to the labor of love you've poured into fulfilling God's calling. Spiritual authority also involves the ability to resist the enemy's attacks. Ephesians 6 verse 12 reminds us, "For our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the powers of this dark world and against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly realms." Your hands are part of the armor of God, used to wield the sword of the Spirit and to stand firm in the face of spiritual warfare. The marks on your hands symbolize the victories God has already secured on your behalf and the battles He will continue to fight through you. The alignment of your hands with God's purpose also brings blessings and provision. Psalm 90 verse 17 declares, "May the favor of the Lord our God rest on us, establish the work of our hands for us." Yes, establish the work of our hands. When you dedicate your efforts to God, He multiplies your impact, ensuring that the work of your hands prospers and brings glory to His name. Your hands also hold the power of intercession. When you lift them in prayer, you create a spiritual connection with heaven, interceding for yourself, your loved ones, and even strangers. Moses exemplified this when he lifted his hands in prayer during the battle against the Amalekites. As long as his hands were raised, the Israelites prevailed. This story illustrates the importance of using your hands to seek God's intervention and guidance. As we move forward, let us remember that the marks on your hands are not just symbols but declarations of your identity, authority, and purpose in God's kingdom. They remind you of the power and responsibility you carry as His chosen vessel. In the next part, we will explore how to fully embrace and activate this authority to impact the world around you. Now let us delve into how you can fully embrace and activate the spiritual authority represented by the marks on your hands. This authority is not simply about recognizing your divine calling. It is about stepping into it boldly and using the gifts God has given you to make a lasting impact on the world. Your hands are symbolic of your ability to influence, heal, and bring about transformation, but this power must be wielded with humility, wisdom, and faith. First, embracing your spiritual authority begins with understanding the power of surrender. To fully activate the divine potential within you, you must first lay down your own ambitions and desires at the feet of God. James 4 verse 7 instructs us, "Submit yourselves, then, to God. Resist the devil, and he will flee from you." Surrendering your life to God allows His will to take precedence, aligning your actions with His purpose and strengthening the work of your hands. Next, take intentional steps to dedicate your hands to acts of service and compassion. Jesus Himself demonstrated this principle when He washed the feet of His disciples, an act of humility and love. In John 13 verses 14 to 15, He said, "Now that I, your Lord and teacher, have washed your feet, you also should wash one another's feet. I have set you an example that you should do as I have done for you." This passage reminds us that true authority comes from a heart of servanthood. Use your hands to bless others, to comfort the weary, and to uplift those who are struggling. One of the most powerful ways to activate the authority of your hands is through prayer. When you lift your hands in prayer, you are symbolically reaching out to heaven, inviting God's presence and power into your life. Psalm 63 verse 4 declares, "I will praise you as long as I live, and in your name I will lift up my hands." Prayer not only strengthens your connection with God but also empowers you to intercede for others, standing in the gap and bringing heavenly intervention into earthly situations. Your hands are also instruments of healing, both physically and spiritually. In Mark 6 verse 13, the disciples anointed the sick and healed them through the power of God. Whether through physical acts of kindness or words of encouragement, you have the ability to bring healing and restoration to those around you. This requires faith and a willingness to step out in boldness, trusting that God will work through you to bring His peace and comfort. Another critical aspect of activating your authority is maintaining a life of holiness and integrity. The marks on your hands are sacred, and they call for a lifestyle that honors the God who placed them there. 1 Peter 1 verse 16 reminds us, "Be holy, because I am holy." This means guarding your thoughts, words, and actions, ensuring that they reflect the character of Christ. When you live in alignment with God's principles, the work of your hands becomes a reflection of His divine purpose. Additionally, the authority of your hands can be amplified through fellowship and community. When you join hands with others in worship, prayer, or service, you create a powerful spiritual bond that strengthens your collective impact. Matthew 18 verse 20 promises, "For where 2 or 3 gather in my name, there am I with them." Together, you can accomplish far more than you could alone, bringing hope and transformation to your communities. It is also important to protect your spiritual authority from attacks and distractions. The enemy will attempt to undermine your confidence and divert your focus, but you must remain vigilant. Ephesians 6 verse 16 encourages us, "Take up the shield of faith, with which you can extinguish all the flaming arrows of the evil one." Keep your heart and hands pure, staying grounded in God's word and relying on His strength to overcome challenges. Finally, let your hands be a testament to God's glory. Every act of kindness, every prayer lifted, and every effort to serve others reflects His love and grace. Isaiah 64 verse 8 beautifully states, "We are the clay, you are the potter, we are all the work of your hand." Allow God to mold and shape your life, using your hands to fulfill His divine purpose. As you step into the fullness of your calling, remember that the authority of your hands is not for personal gain but for advancing God's kingdom. In the next part, we will explore how to leave a lasting legacy through the work of your hands, ensuring that your impact extends beyond your lifetime. As we conclude this journey, let us focus on the legacy you are called to leave through the work of your hands. Your life is not just about the present moment but about the ripple effects of your actions, faith, and obedience to God. The marks on your hands are a reminder that your impact is eternal, reaching beyond your own life and influencing generations to come. A lasting legacy begins with living intentionally. Every decision, every action, and every word carries weight. Psalm 90 verse 12 urges us, "Teach us to number our days, that we may gain a heart of wisdom." This verse calls us to live with purpose, making the most of every opportunity to reflect God's love and truth. Your hands are tools for building a legacy rooted in faith, hope, and love. One way to leave a legacy is by investing in others. The time and energy you pour into mentoring, teaching, and supporting those around you create a foundation for future growth and success. Proverbs 22 verse 6 reminds us, "Start children off on the way they should go, and even when they are old, they will not turn from it." Whether it's your children, friends, or community, the seeds you plant today will bear fruit in the future. Your hands are also instruments for creating and sustaining meaningful relationships. Acts of kindness, forgiveness, and generosity build bridges and foster unity. In Matthew 5 verse 9, Jesus declares, "Blessed are the peacemakers, for they will be called children of God." By using your hands to heal divisions and bring people together, you become a beacon of light in a world often marked by discord and strife. Another powerful aspect of your legacy is your faithfulness to God's calling. The Bible is filled with examples of individuals who left a lasting impact because they obeyed God's instructions. Consider Noah, who used his hands to build the ark, saving his family and preserving life on earth. His obedience continues to inspire us to trust in God's plans, even when they don't make sense at the moment. Your legacy also includes the values and principles you uphold. By living a life of integrity and honoring God in all you do, you set an example for others to follow. 1 Corinthians 10 verse 31 reminds us, "So whether you eat or drink or whatever you do, do it all for the glory of God." Your hands, guided by these values, become symbols of faithfulness and commitment to God's will. Generosity is another hallmark of a lasting legacy. When you use your resources to bless others, you reflect God's abundant provision. Proverbs 11 verse 25 declares, "A generous person will prosper, whoever refreshes others will be refreshed." Whether it's through financial support, acts of service, or simply offering your time and attention, your generosity creates a legacy of love and compassion. The impact of your hands extends to your prayers. Every time you lift your hands in intercession, you are sowing seeds of hope, healing, and restoration. Your prayers have the power to change lives, drawing others closer to God and paving the way for His blessings to flow. James 5 verse 16 assures us, "The prayer of a righteous person is powerful and effective." Through prayer, your legacy reaches beyond what you can see or imagine. Ultimately, your legacy is about fulfilling the purpose God has placed on your life. When you align your actions with His will, you create a ripple effect that touches countless lives. Matthew 25 verse 21 captures the reward of a life well lived. "Well done, good and faithful servant. You have been faithful with a few things, I will put you in charge of many things. Come and share your master's happiness." This promise reminds us that our efforts are not in vain and that God honors our faithfulness. As you reflect on the work of your hands, remember that every small act of faith, every step of obedience, and every moment of love contributes to a legacy that glorifies God. Your life is a testimony to His grace and power, a light that shines in the darkness and draws others to Him. Embrace this calling with courage and determination, knowing that your hands are marked for a divine purpose. Trust that God will guide you, equip you, and use you to accomplish great things for His kingdom. Walk boldly in your faith, and let the legacy of your hands inspire generations to come.